times. Let's break it down with Professor Emeritus at Harvard Law School, Professor Alan Dershowitz. Professor Dershowitz, I want your thoughts. Can he be held accountable at this point? Because did he get bad legal advice? I mean, we're talking about him invoking the Fifth Amendment. There's a famous meme, right, that it goes, okay, invoking the Fifth Amendment after you've been given a full pardon, it's like getting vaccinated and still wearing a mask. Did this guy get poor legal advice?
I would wear a mask if I were vaccinated, and as a lawyer, I would have advised him exactly the way he was advised. He was still vulnerable to catching the virus. He was still vulnerable for being prosecuted for anything that he did or said after the pardon came into effect. So he had years of exposure, and his lawyer gave him the right advice to take the Fifth, and his lawyer gave him the right advice to take the Fifth 111 times. You can't take the Fifth once and then answer questions, turn the spigot on and turn the spigot off. The Supreme Court has held over and over again that once you start answering questions on a subject, you can't suddenly invoke the Fifth Amendment. So any good lawyer, Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal, would have given him the same advice and would have told him that he's going to come off looking terribly. Now, the advice I would give Congress is very simple. Give him immunity in Congress and also extend the immunity to state proceedings, saying, look, this is a federal matter. We are Congress. Under the Supremacy Clause, we have the right to get the information. You now have immunity, and you must testify fully as to everything. We should be more interested in getting at the truth and transparency than we should in pointing fingers of blame. So give him immunity, and then he won't have any Fifth Amendment right. But right now, he acted absolutely within his rights.
But why invoke the Fifth if you've already gotten a pardon? What is he so afraid of?
Because he wasn't given a pardon for things that occurred after the pardon. It was only a retrospective pardon, not a prospective pardon. Congress can give him immunity for everything until the minute he gets the immunity. And then he has no basis for taking the Fifth in relation to federal crimes, at least. And then Congress can try to also extend it to state crimes. I think we should be more interested in the information than in whether or not he should go to be prosecuted for anything he did, which he may have done in good faith. We don't know. We have to see the evidence. But I think if Congress wants the information, there's a way of doing it. But I think they wanted the show as much as they wanted the information. But now they have an option. Give him immunity. They will not get a contempt proceedings against him validated by the court. He had a perfect right to invoke the Fifth Amendment, and his lawyers advised him that. Again, those lawyers, I'm sure, advised him that he would look terrible doing it. I've given that advice to many clients, and some have taken it and some haven't. And the ones who have taken it have done better than the ones who haven't. So we have to distinguish between what he did or what he didn't do, public blame, public accountability, all of that's fair game, and the legal constitutional issue, which is clear. He has the right to invoke the Fifth Amendment, at least as to questions post-pardon. Now, one of the senators, Paul, did a smart thing. He said, I'm going to ask you questions only about the period of time during when you got the pardon. That's a stronger case for contempt when he refused to answer those questions. But under the Supreme Court's decision, probably the courts will say that he had a Fifth Amendment right not to answer even those questions, lest he waive his rights as to other questions. It's complicated legally, but Congress has a way of getting around it. Just give him immunity.
Just give him immunity. That's the only way we are ever going to find out the full truth, right? Professor Dershowitz, thank you so much for your insight, sir.
Thanks for having me.